In today's show, the young man who can run all day, and the winning feeling, the coach and the fans. Hi, I'm Mark Bickley and welcome to The Crow Show, brought to you by the new Jack's Fried Chicken Cheesy Bacon at Hungry Jack's. Also today, motoring memories and footy flashbacks as old mates catch up. 19-year-old Jake Soligo is staking a strong claim to be an important player in the long-term future of the club. One of his strengths is his exceptional endurance, regularly covering up to 15 kilometres a game. Belinda Sloane dropped in on Jake at his West Lakes home.
Jake, thanks for having us in your home today. You really don't have to travel very far to the club, do you?
Nah, it's been really good living close to the club. It's just it's almost walking distance, so it's really good.
So many first-year players choose to live with a host family when they move from interstate, but you've chosen to live with a housemate.
So I was with Riley O'Brien to start off with, and and he was really good over pre-season, helping me and guiding me in the right direction. And then, just wanted to have a bit more fun and enjoyed a bit more with Luke, and just loving it at the moment. It's good.
And how's the housemate relationship going, given that you spend time at the club together, come home, you're at home together? Do you get on each other's nerves?
Nah, not at all. It's been really good at the moment. Maybe when we're playing FIFA and 2K and all that, but some stuff gets smashed, like controllers and that.
Okay. I did see when I walked in the front door, there were shoes, a lot of shoes lined up perfectly. Now you said majority of them were Luke's.
Luke put them there to start off with, and they're mostly his. I only have about 2 pairs, but I actually really like it. It brings a bit of uniqueness to the house. So
I agree, I like it.
Down to the danger zone, Patton. Little slip from Marshall. That's enough. They'll be screaming his name if he kicks his first. Soligo, not a dirty word in the Adelaide Oval.
7 matches under your belt now. How do you think your first season of AFL footy's going?
Yeah, I'm just really enjoying it, to be honest. I was pretty honoured to debut in round 1, and then went back and played some Sanford footy and got back into the team and feel like I'm playing a bit more consistent footy now, which is good.
You're a bit of a running machine. What's your secret?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I haven't always been a good runner, but I've been definitely a massive work on for me over the years, and I've just been pushing myself really hard in the pre-seasons.
Soligo's courage was needed.
You re-signed at the beginning of the year without even playing your first AFL game. You must have settled in well at the club.
Yeah, I was super stoked when they wanted to sign me on. I was actually over the moon. So all the boys have been really welcoming, even when you first get drafted.
And do you feel like you're now really a big part of this club?
Yeah, 100%. I'm just keen to see us all improve and can't wait to see where we end up.
Jake Soligo pops it through.
Jake continues to improve every week. This year, the Crows have welcomed the return of inaugural AFLW Premiership player, Georgia Bevan. She's back not as a player, but as the club's dietitian. So, how is her knowledge of the game helping in her new role?
We haven't seen too much of her this afternoon. Stanton dispossessed, and that's holding the ball. Bevan lays a tackle.
Picked up by Bevan, throws her boot at the ball. Is it straight? It is!
I always had a passion for food and sport and thought that that would be a really good career to give a go at. I didn't really know what dietetics involved, and I think what it's perceived as, which is just like looking after people's food, it's so much more than that. Being a dietitian is sort of like one hat, which is educating the players on what they should be eating and working with them on their lifestyles at the club and at home. It's also logistics, so ordering all the food, so when we're going away, working with the hotels, also when they're here, making sure there's enough food, snacks provided, and then sometimes just being a problem solver. So when things inevitably go wrong, which they do when there's lots of moving parts, just being able to get on top of it and find a solution as quickly as possible. I think the players that I've enjoyed working with most are the ones that are really motivated and probably interested in nutrition. So I think most of the players have a baseline knowledge that it's really important for their performance, but there are some players who have a real interest in it and want to know the ins and outs. So Ben Keys is a really good example of that. So he's really passionate about just healthy lifestyle as a whole. So he's always asking for extra advice. It's always really great to work with players that want to learn more, and I think beyond just what they need as an athlete, just their general health, and that really serves them for post-football life as well.
Every club relies on so many contributors. Stay with us after the break. When you have a dream, never give up. Welcome back. The club's newest player, Brett Turner, is proof that perseverance does pay off. Overlooked in the AFL draft as a teenager, he never gave up hope, and after several years with West Adelaide, then Glenelg, he was picked up by the Crows in the mid-season rookie draft.
A little bit different to working, to be honest, but because I'm in rehab at the minute, it's been a couple of long days, long hours. I had a little foot sprain and a fracture in the bottom of my foot. Looks to be all healed up now. I've been training for about 3 or 4 weeks now, so hopefully get to play this weekend, but we'll see what the docs say to training. From a sample to an AFL aspect, there's a lot more that goes into obviously the AFL training resume. That's probably the biggest thing. It's just the time commitment of how often you are training. And so that's probably been the biggest thing. It's just the hours that you do train for, but I'll adapt to that. Body's been pretty good. I've been a bit sore after some of the bigger sessions, but I'm sleeping very well at the minute. I've followed Sloane for a long time. We came to a under-16 sort of camp here once, with my school, and he was the marquee man at the time. So even just like talking with him in the gym, I'm still a little bit nervous around him. They've all been great across the board. So obviously VB's the midfield coach, so I'll be spending a lot more time with him. But no, as a collective, everyone's been great. Personal goals to start with, short terms, just to actually play 4 quarters and get through that in the sample, and then obviously try and have a crack at the AFL level once I've proved myself at sample level. It's just really just to play one game at the minute.
Dishes off the handball to the run of Brett Turner.
Obviously I'll miss being part of the premiership campaign there from a personal point of view because of how good they treated me from going to the club, and just the relationships I've built with the people there. So they've made me a better person, and also I've built great relationships at the club, so it will be a little bit challenging, but obviously you sort of strive to play at the highest level, so there's also that aspect of the professional side of things about it as well. And they've been great though, so it will be difficult, but it's it's footy at the end of the day.
Brett is a natural athlete, a state junior basketballer and a national BMX champion. Now, every week on the show, Tom Duday helps us relive a favourite Crows memory through the eyes of a player. We call them Whopper moments. And this time, Josh Worrell remembers a special day.
All right, time for a Crows Whopper moment with one of my fellow defenders and favourites at the club, Joshua Worrell. How are you, big fella?
Yeah, good, mate.
You're looking very good today.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Talk us through your Crows Whopper moment.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to go past my debut. I think, obviously from a personal note playing, but then, pretty intense game. Obviously, Filthy kicking it over his shoulder to win, so that's probably the best one.
That was the game up in Cairns?
Yep.
How were the nerves before the game?
Yeah, not great. I was all over the place, but no, that's how it goes.
And it was a horrendous start. It was slippery, terrible weather. Did you, I think we were about 6 goals zipped down, did you just think, what have I got myself into? Take me back to the sample, or were you still happy about it?
Nah, I think I actually can't remember much of the game because it was just, I think, a little too quick for me at the time. So, it was a whirlwind of emotions.
And Filthy's goal, I remember being up in the forline and I was just hoping the ball didn't come to me because of how slippery it was and the situation. Where were you standing, or whether you're on the bench or on the ground, and what was the feeling?
I think the whole game I was just kind of hoping the ball would come to me, but I was on the bench, so got to run on, which was nice. The nerves weren't on me per se if it went wrong. And
then celebrations after the game, Gatorade shower. Just, I'm imagining, all positive feelings across the board.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, pretty unreal experience, so hard to go past that.
Good, mate. Thank you for joining us. That was one of the better Whopper moments we've had.
Every time you attend an Adelaide Crows home game, you could score a free Whopper from Hungry Jack's. Simply download the Hungry Jack's app for your chance to win.
Well, a stack of statistics is available to coaches and analysts after every game. So, what happens to it all? We'll find out shortly. the aftermath of every game, the football department has to process a huge amount of data that tracks each player's performance. The practice is known as coding, and it provides vital information for coaches. Thanks to Dr. Jones and partners, let's get a clearer picture of what's involved.
McHenry, Soligo for 3 for the Crows.
So immediately after a game with the match vision, we get our analysts get the vision of champion data. They deliver the package to us on our computers as coaches, and then we're left to our devices to go and what we call code the game. Put it in layman's terms, to code the game, we virtually get the whole game in its entirety with 4 different angles, behind goals at both ends, the broadcast angle, and also a wider side-on view. And we're able to then, as coaches, chop up various aspects of the game or little excerpts of vision to show the team or individual players to help coach them. So the program that we use is Sports Code, and basically here you can see the whole game on this timeline, and there are hundreds of instances in the game that we can use and we cut up as coaches to help educate our players. So for example, if I double click here on Jake Soligo, I've got all the vision here in this database that I can show Jake and educate him on his role within the game.
Equal number of entries, but it's the same old story for both teams at the moment.
We don't code kicks, marks, handballs for players. It's more around patterns of play and how they run their game based on their role that they play, how they execute their role at stoppage, how they work in team defence in our offence. It's around those sorts of aspects of our system, not just what they do with ball in hand. So this is an example here of something we might show a player during the week, and this is, for example, Jake Soligo at the top of the screen here. We can show him various angles of how he's playing this position and this role that he's playing, but part of his role in this game was to be in a position to support our backs, and he's able to touch the ball on the line there, but that's off the back of the work that he's done earlier. It is certainly a worthwhile tool for educating our players. So once I've got it done and dusted, it's a great teaching tool for our players.
Big Sam Jacobs certainly kept the statisticians busy over his 14-year career, and you can catch up with Source in a new role on the Crows radio show with Tomo every Sunday morning at 9 on Triple M.
Be there for some of our biggest matchups this season and save on ticket pricing. Our flexible 3-game membership gets you tickets to 3 games of your choice for only $35 per game. Head to crowsmembership.com.au for all the details and join the Crows family today.
It's been over 30 years since Toyota came on board as an inaugural sponsor of the Crows. To celebrate the partnership, the club recently launched the following television commercial that features some familiar faces.
A sponsorship arrangement which will put the Crows a financial step ahead. A credit to the public of South Australia and the Premiership coach.
Creating iconic memories from the very beginning. The Adelaide Crows and Toyota, driving towards the future.
Some very iconic Camrys were used in that ad. And it's fair to say that all Crows players, both past and present, have fond memories working with Toyota. Let's go behind the scenes at the filming of this production to relive some special moments.
So how many Crows does it take to pull a Toyota? We're about to find out. Yeah, I do remember filming that. That's when Max Bashir Reserve was still there, and we used to use it for all sorts of training purposes, like pulling cars along. I reckon the Hilux was the toughest one to pull along, but we had Tex there pulling it through.
You've got to support the team that supports the Cameron Crows. Here we go, what a feeling, Toyota!
I don't remember filming that one, but I did look very happy, and I'm not sure, that's very unlike me, but what I did notice, the hair was very buffy at that stage, so yeah, not sure who my hairdresser was. When some of my earliest memories when the Crows were first formed was actually doing some stuff with Toyota. There was, the car came out on the oval and we were all running around and jumping up and down.
It's Rowan Jarman, now right on the ball for the Camry Crows.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can you sing the song?
The
1991 original song?
Well, it's just, here we go, Camry Crows. Yeah, no.
That's it. That's the entire verse and the entire song.
I remember vividly we did one out, where all the houses are now at Footy Park, on Max Bashir Oval. We had to do one where we're all around the car and do the old "Oh What a Feeling." Toyota have been a huge partner of ours since inception of the footy club, really, and supported me personally over the years. It's been great to be able to be involved again.
Certainly a great night, but where have all those years gone? Now, the modern game provides many opportunities for former players to make a lifelong career out of football. We'll meet one journeyman shortly. Former Port Adelaide player Jacob Soligo made his senior debut as a 17-year-old in Perth nearly 20 years ago. After an AFL career spanning 120 games, he turned to coaching and is now in charge of SANFL Premiership contenders North Adelaide. Thanks to Bendigo Bank, Jacob retraces his football journey.
I'd like to think that I wasn't highly skilled type player. That wasn't my strength, unfortunately. I was highly competitive and hated losing every sort of contest that I was in. I think that was the reputation that I sort of had as a player. So I used to play on the smaller forward, or sometimes when I played in the mid, that hard sort of running midfielder. I really enjoyed just playing my role for the team. I felt like I was a pretty good role player. I probably started thinking about post-footy life after the 2007 grand final loss against Geelong. I was only 21 or 22 when I played back then, and I just thought, what I want to do later on in life. I've always been really passionate about coaching. Even when I was at Port Adelaide, I was involved in the junior programs and the youth talent squad. At the end of the 2017 season at Port Adelaide, I felt like I was ready to step up in regards to my coaching. Kari rang me up and said, I've got an opportunity for you here as head of footy development. Was part of the Roosters premiership win in 2018 with Kari, which had been the first one in 27 or 28 years, which was really exciting. And then Kari obviously took off to Freo, and working there with Justin Longmuir and the guys, and the club asked me to apply for the job, which I did, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity that they've given me to live out a little bit of a dream and coach my own team and try to put my own little philosophies that I've got in around football here at North Adelaide. And it's been really enjoyable. Obviously made a grand final in my first year, and last year we made finals again. I've always got aspirations to get back in, whether that's here in South Australia or abroad. The AFL is obviously a national competition. I'm pretty settled here at the Roosters. I love my time learning and developing my own style as a coach. Our goal is just to keep playing really good, strong, consistent footy. And if those AFL opportunities come one day, then I'll have a look at it at the right time. But right now I'm really focused on the Roosters.
Now's the time to find our crow in the crowd, and I must say we have plenty to choose from. If you take a photo of yourself or a friend at one of our games and post it to social media, make sure you use the hashtag WeFlyAsOne. Let's have a look. Why don't we settle on you? Please email facingthecrowd@afc.com.au with photo ID to claim your prize of 2 tickets to the exclusive Hilux Hill at Adelaide Oval. We all know Matthew Nix is a busy man, but each week he makes time to answer a fan's question, all thanks to Flight Centre. This time, Anthony wants to know, what's it like for the coach to walk through the crowd at Adelaide Oval after a win? Does he celebrate with fans?
Oh, Anthony, look, it's amazing to walk through the crowd after a win. For those who get out to games, I'm sure they feel the same way. It's just so good to see the smiles on our members and supporters' faces. And, we know even when we lose, which is nowhere near the same feeling, but we've got incredible support, from everyone who's there at the ground. So, it's a great feeling when we pack the house out and put on a good performance.
That just about wraps up The Crow Show for today. You can keep up with all the latest news on @TheCrowShow on Twitter, as well as the club's social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for your company, and together with Belinda Sloane, I look forward to joining you again next weekend on 7. Bye for now.
This program was proudly brought to you by the new Jack's Fried Chicken Cheesy Bacon at Hungry Jack's.